Hey everybody, my name's Tarlok Singh and you're listening to Tarot Astro Coaching. We're going to look at Zet-9 free Astro software that's produced by Zet9.com. It's absolutely brilliant for the beginner astrologer and probably is the best free download that I've been able to find on the internet. There are a few limitations, and that is that you can't put it on an iMac or a Mac Pro without wineskin or one of the other adaptations that you have to make to move a Windows-based program onto an Apple Mac or Apple computers, which is a bit of a shortcoming, and I've done that by using wineskin, as you can see where the cursor is here. In doing that, I've found that there are a couple of bugs which perhaps Zet-9 will correct in time. Also, a shortcoming is that some of the functions in your Zet-9 Lite won't be working because you haven't paid for the full download, and obviously Zet-9 have done that to entice you to buy the full program. Now, if you just look here, I'm just going to flick through some of the astronomical views that you can have of your charts, which I think are particularly interesting. Here, I'm not going to go through some of the functions that I know are not working, or have not been installed because I haven't bought the full package. So I'm just going to flick through the bits that I feel are pertinent to a beginner and somebody who'd like to use this as a downloadable. What's great is there's plenty of tables, so you can familiarize yourself with various astrological formulas, if you like, and there's plenty of that going on here. One of the things I really like is the star catalogue, so you can choose various stars to incorporate in your charts, and also the same goes with Arabic parts. And if you are studying classical astrology, then you will want these, and they are very interesting points of discussion. So that finishes that bit. There's nebulae there and asteroids and all of those sorts of things to play around with, and some of these constellations, planets and midpoints and so on are actually demonstrated around here on this area of the chart. There are various options. Many of these tools don't work or are too complicated for me to go into right now, and then the controls, there's not really much to talk about there. That's about time dynamics. The configurations are quite interesting. You can actually configure Zet Lite so that it retains your interface for you to move to at a later date. So if you didn't want your your fixed stars on your screen, you just wanted a simple format, you would click on, let's say, English, and it would take you back to the original manufacturer settings. And if you wanted to go back to the one that I've saved, which is the one under Tarlok, you'd do so thusly. Now, the most interesting part to play around with is settings, and you go to chart settings just here, and that will give you a variety of buttons that actually format the main chart. Here, I'm not going to go through them all, but you can really be very specific with what you want on your chart, what you want incorporated, how you'd like it to be seen, and it does a very good job. Now, I'm just on the additional data settings here because I want to draw your attention to the fact that one of the things I like is this data setting area here, where you can stipulate what's shown on your chart, and you can see here that I've got the quadruplicities, the elements, and this table gives you all of the things that you might want to have available to you. So if you're a beginner and you wanted to actually have a look at Mercury, for example, and see what quadruplicity it's in, you can see that it's immutable and that it's a fire element, that it's in its detriment, and so it goes on. And I find this very useful for when I'm trying to look at the charts and figure out what's going on. I think it's great. So that's that. Now I just want to mention a couple of things that I think are its shortcomings, and that's basically to do with the core data. This is the data that you actually compute in, and these are the charts that you'll be looking at. Now when you go to save it, it's all very easy, it saves nicely, but when you look at the actual database, everything is saved in a default file, and I've tried to move data from one installed version of Zet-9 in one computer to another computer, and I found that to be quite difficult. And likewise, I've tried to set up various sections in the database and found that quite tricky as well. In fact, it's been so difficult that I've not been able to master it. So I think that's quite a drawback. Another thing that I would mention about the database is that there are actually only 3 types of charts, and that's a great shame. We've got natal, transit and synastry to our disposal, and personally it would be very much nicer to have progress charts and solar arcs and all of the rest of the different types of astrological possibilities. So that's more or less it now for Zet-9 LIte. I'd be interested in knowing your thoughts about this, whether you've used it, whether you've got solutions to the shortcomings that I've suggested. My name's Tarlok Singh, and you're listening to Tarocom Astro Coaching, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.